You got to deal with the stone. If you'd witnessed the scene, you'd have noticed the giant stone that covered the tomb. I can't tell you how vital this piece of information is. Matthew 27 says, when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and laid it in his new tomb, which he had hewn out of the rock. And he rolled a large stone against the door of the tomb and departed. Mark's account in the New Testament says this stone was extremely large. Now, I don't know how a frightened group of disciples or a dispirited group of women could overcome the Roman guards and roll away the stone, but critics don't want to deal with that one. When they buried someone like Jesus in a hewn-out stone tomb, they would create a ledge, a little ridge in front of the tomb, kind of like a slot, if you would. And they would get a big round stone. I often thought the stone was like a boulder. No, it was a big round stone like this. And they would put that stone in that groove, and they would roll it up the hill, the incline, put a shim underneath it. And then after the body was placed in the tomb, they would take the shim out and roll the stone back until it covered the opening of the tomb. That's a little different than what I thought when I first started studying the resurrection. And when it rolled down the tomb, it slammed into place. And I did a little homework on this stone, a stone big enough to cover the opening of the tomb. It weighed over 2 tons, which is why when the women were coming to the tomb on Sunday morning, they were surprised to find it gone. Here's what Matthew says, and behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat on it. When the women came that day, they saw the stone, but here's what I believe. The scripture uses some very special words that give you the impression that the stone wasn't even in the slot. It was over in the field by itself. So when they came and saw the tomb, there wasn't any stone in front of the opening. And the stone wasn't even where it would have been if it had been rolled back up the slot. It was in a place by itself. Somebody said, why was the stone rolled away from the tomb? Not to let Jesus out, but so that we could see in. Jesus didn't need us to roll the stone away for him to get out. Remember, he was in his new resurrection body. He could transport himself any place he wanted. But the stone was rolled away so everybody could look in and see that the tomb was empty.